What can only be described as an act of God. Tallison Teixeira knocks out Justin Tafa at UFC 312. The entire card had a dark, gloomy cloud over it. There's really no bright spots, but then the light of God shone down below onto the octagon as Tallison Teixeira knocks out Justin Tafa in 35 seconds, and all of a sudden, the evilness of the heavyweight division's fat, obese, burger-eating, beer-drinking, fries-dipping heavyweights finally is cleansed. Finally, we see one of the big ogres just killing the integrity of the sport and making the sport seem like, honestly, that any plumber or fireman, not firemen, you know what, firemen are actually in shape, any plumber, electrician, or basically hot dog eater could enter the sport and be quite well, just based on the fact that they are from a certain part of the world the UFC likes to go to. But finally, Tallison Teixeira destroys Justin Tafa and just honestly erases any justification of Justin Tafa being in the UFC whatsoever. You cannot make the argument that Justin Tafa is a high-level heavyweight at all whatsoever. We saw what happens when he fights someone with an actual reach advantage, some actual skill, something that requires more than just moving your hands in one of two directions. We saw what happened. Justin Tafa got clonked against the cage, dropped, and then curled up completely, like a shriveled up prawn. And he was finished, and then right after getting finished, complained to the ref it was an early stoppage, despite the fact he had both of his arms over his head, completely shelling up without any sign of doing anything whatsoever. I don't care what you say, the same thing applies to his brother, Junior Tafa. Last time he was in Perth, he was disgracing the sport again. He was disgracing the sport. You know why he was disgracing the sport? Because he was yelling and screaming like a little girl, getting submitted. Then after the fact, he was pissed off by the fact that he was submitted and the fight was called off, despite the fact that he was verbally just yelling in pain. And then he slaps his opponent. An absolute disgrace to the sport. The Tafa brothers have disgraced the sport long enough. Thank you, Tallison Teixeira. Make a fight between Teixeira versus Junior Tafa next. One brother down, one to go. Both of them, the reckoning is coming. That's what he is. Tallison Teixeira is the answer to the question, why is the heavyweight division so shit? He is the answer. You know why he's the answer? Because he's gonna fix the problem. Maybe he isn't the answer. He's the question to the answer. Why the heavyweights are shit. You know? I don't know how to phrase that any better than what I just did. But Tallison Teixeira so far, honestly, he's a big fucking dude. He's big, long, reachy, has the reach of like Judge or something like that. I think he can clean up the heavyweights that are down in the rankings. Shamil, you're next. Shamil, your fat tits are next. Get ready to get in shape or get out of the UFC. Move out of this division. Junior Tafa, he won't take this fight. The little girl, just kidding. They would beat, I understand, they'd beat the shit out of me. There's no doubt in my mind. But this is the only good thing about this card. This is the only thing it'll be remembered for. The feature fight that no one asked for, but then all of a sudden Tallison Teixeira saves the card. The main card was absolutely snooze fest up until this point. I understand there were some decent scraps, but overall a decision fest. Nothing really exciting that makes you pop out of your seat. The main event under-delivered compared to the last fight they had. Tallison Teixeira comes out there, smokes Justin Tafa, just shows that he is a far higher level fighter than a low level, honestly plumbing, part-time job kind of guy like Justin Tafa. Just far better. And he gets it done against Justin Tafa in the first round. I don't know how to drag this video out any longer. So this is all I wanted to say. This is the only moment in the entire card that I think has any sort of saving grace to it. Tallison Teixeira knocking out Justin Tafa. There's not much to say. I don't think Justin Tafa should be re-signed in the UFC, in my opinion. If I'm being honest with you, if he wasn't Australian, there's nothing going on for him. The UFC just needs Australian fighters because they go to Perth every single year and they go to Sydney every second year. That's the only reason Justin Tafa has a job right now. He is completely and utterly crap at fighting. Let's be honest here. He has no skill, no cardio. You look at him fight after the first round, the guy's gassed out of his mind. But finally, someone has put him to fucking sleep. About damn time. And I'm hoping Junior Tafa's next. I'm hoping some of these Shamil Gaziev. I hope Tai Tuivasa. I'm sorry. I was a Shui fan. I was a big fan of you, Tai. But now it's been quite evident the shape of you. The absolute shape of you. If anyone hasn't seen it, check out the shape that Tai Tuivasa's in. Just fat on beers and burgers. I don't understand. And I was kind of willing to let go of the fact that he was fat because it didn't really matter to me. He could swang and bang and he had some technique to him. But now I'm looking at it. I'm like, Jesus Christ, no wonder you're losing to everybody. Do you even train without a fight coming up? Like, or is it just like 10 weeks out? You're like, oh shit, I gotta make 265, so I better cut weight to make 265. You should already be 265, my guy. Your walk around weight should be fighting weight. It should be the weight that you come into the cage with. You don't have to cut any weight. Just be healthy and strong and just stay that way. What are you doing? Why are you cutting weight to 265? You are obese. And the problem that is the UFC heavyweight division might finally have an answer. The UFC just cut Rosenstruik, who was actually kind of decent, but his fault for not losing to the fatzos in the division like Shimil Gaziev. His fault for not being not a roadblock in the UFC heavyweight division, so some of these fatzos can move up ahead of him. I'm sorry, Rosenstruik. The UFC just doesn't see you as enough, because you're not going to be able to beat the top of the top 5, top 6 guys in the heavyweight division, but you're also not going to be letting the fat burger eating heavyweights of McDonald's get ahead of you. For that reason, you had to go. And now it's their turn. Those people that did this to you, it's their turn. It's time for them to get knocked the fuck out. Anyway, I cannot tell you the joy that I had watching this unfold. Just seeing someone I consider to be unskilled, uncoordinated, unhealthy in all honesty, get knocked out in 35 seconds. Amazing. Amazing. More of this, please. Tallison Teixeira, an actual heavyweight kind of guy, versus a fake heavyweight. An actual middleweight, who is literally just put on the weight because he knows that he'll have a job that way, because he's not very skilled. He knows the heavyweights is a low talent division. He knows that he's from Australia. I'm sorry, I don't want anyone to lose their job, but I cannot lie to you. This is absurd. Like, I'm just looking at fucking Justin Tafa right now. It's not effective. I don't care. Like, anyone can be like, oh my god, what are you on about? They are some of the best heavyweights on the world. Are they the best heavyweights on the world? You're telling me a collegiate athlete coming out of America, or maybe just a normal guy who did track and field and played basketball all the way through high school, all the way through college. You're telling me if they come into mixed martial arts, they wouldn't be infinitely better just from a starting set point than someone like Justin Tafa? You're telling me after 2 to 3 years of training, they wouldn't be able to smoke someone like Justin Tafa? Stop it. You're embarrassing yourself, alright? That's all I gotta say. That's all I gotta say. Little by little, we need some of these big, fat fucking heavyweights to match up against some of the more monsters of the division. Someone that we can actually say, oh my god, look at the top 10 in the heavyweight division. It actually looks not that bad. It doesn't look obese. It doesn't look like half of them are completely overeating themselves to death on McDonald's, on fucking Burger King, on the Wendy's or whatever the hell. Please. If you dislike this video, you are just a fucking shill of the UFC, honestly, at this point. Because what have I lied about? You're telling me you're looking at Justin Tafa and thinking to yourself, oh my god, that's a big boy, that's a big boy. He will swing and bang. Is that what your fucking mindset is? Or are you just thinking to yourself, oh my god, this guy is unhealthy beyond belief. I understand, they would beat the shit out of me. But guess what? I don't do mixed martial arts as a fighting, as a source of income. I just don't. So I'm not allowed to talk about it. So that means you can't talk about it. Because I highly doubt that you are a mixed martial artist in the UFC if you're commenting down below. So stop talking. And be like, oh, well, how can you say this about this stuff? They're actually really good. I don't train mixed martial arts, so I know nothing anyway, as well. So, here's my opinion. Shut the fuck up, alright? If you're someone that's going to be doing that, shut your face, right? Support this, get this video traction. We need more of this. We need some fucking awareness in the mixed martial arts community. Because for some reason, we only care about the big cards on the pay-per-views, the main cards. And these fatties aren't put on there usually. But on this card, they snuck him in. They snuck him in and they thought that we would believe this is tied to Tuivasa. What the hell? Just because you're Australian means that the Australian crowd gets to eat a bunch of pile of shit. Every time the UFC comes there, oh my god, here's an Australian guy on the main card, and it's someone like Justin Tafa or Junior Tafa, or maybe even worse, Jimmy Crute. No, I'm just kidding. Jimmy Crute's fine. He's fine. Shouldn't be on the main card of a pay-per-view by any stretch of the imagination, but he's fine. He's someone that trains to fight in the sport and get better at it. He trains to have a varied skill set that helps him win mixed martial arts fights. Justin Tafa comes in eating burgers, cheeseburgers. Name the next burger that you can think of, he's eating them. Chicken burgers, chicken royales, triple Big Macs. Just get in shape. Jared Cannonier did it, and he ended up fucking ascending to the top of the division. Got a title shot out of it. This just can't be right. This just can't be right. This just cannot be the state. This cannot be the big boys, like the guys that would never ever make any other sport. Like, let's be honest here. Like, when you look at athletes from basketball, you look at athletes from NFL, you look at them, you see some track and field prowess to them. You see that they're good at other things that aren't just what they're playing right now. What is Justin Tafa good at? What is he good at? Nothing. Maybe a hot dog eating contest he could do quite well in. Anything that requires actual athleticism, please explain to me how Justin Tafa excels at that. I'm all ears. In the comment down below, tell me the sport that Justin Tafa is going to be excelling at. And it can't be food related. So I'm going to make it a little bit hard for you. It can't be food related. Oh, he would actually be quite strong as a powerlifter. No, he wouldn't. I've seen some powerlifters. They don't look like that. I understand they're big body and all that stuff. There's a lot of muscle underneath there. They don't jiggle like this. They're not feeding themselves the most unhealthy foods you've ever seen in your entire life. And I feel weird making this video because, again, a non-MMA fighter making a video about MMA fighters being shit at their job. But I'm sorry, I see what I see. I've seen more skill in bar fights than some of this stuff that I've watched. Anyway, this was the moment that saved UFC 312 from being the worst pay-per-view we've seen in quite some time. It was still trash, completely garbage, but Tallison Teixeira is the savior. Pray for Tallison Teixeira's future career. And, yeah, the guy's a fucking beast. I'll see you guys next time. Like, share, subscribe, comment below, hit the notification bell. I'm at 233 subscribers, actually. Get me to 250, guys. Come on, just hit the subscribe button. For not more videos like this, I just had to get these videos about Tafa out there, because, my god, I've seen enough. Anyway, for more videos, sort of like this, but like, not exactly, but I'm not always hateful, but this was just really boiling my blood. I'll see you guys next time.